Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe, and today we're going to be taking a look at those mini balance changes that you were notified about yesterday. And by now, they should have already been applied to the game by maintenance break. If you've already waited for that and it's already happened, more than likely they've been added to the game. But you're not really sure whether they actually apply to you or not, or what army's going to be targeted. There is a specific army that they are targeting by now, if you haven't figured it out. So I'm going to go through each item and explain what those items are and what those changes could be. So the first item of business is going to be the spring trap. This is going to affect all town hall levels that have the spring trap associated with it. They didn't necessarily specify a specific level, but the only real change here is going to be a little bit of a buff on the radius of this defense, that little white ring around there, and it's going from 0.7 to 0.8 in activation. That's really the only change there. It's obviously targeting the hogs and the miners, but we're going to talk about that later on in the video. Let's get into our next change. Collectively, there's going to be multiple changes going to be happening to the bomb tower, specifically levels 5, 6, and 7. So Town Hall 11s and Town Hall 12s, you guys are going to be affected. And so what you're seeing right here is on the developer build. This is the level 5 and the level 6, specifically at Town Hall 11. And there's going to be a hit point increase from 1,000 and 1,200 points to exactly 1050 and 1300 points. And so the damage that these guys are doing, you're seeing damage being done from the bomb tower to the hog. That is also increasing as well, from 46 and 52 to 48 and 56. Let's jump over to level 6 and level 7. That way you can see those in action. I do stand corrected. Town Hall 11, Town Hall 12, and Town Hall 13, you guys are going to be affected by this change. And I've switched over to level 6 and level 7 because they have 3 different changes that are going to be happening with them. Starting out with the hit points, the building hit points themselves, from 1200 to 1400 up to 1300 and 1600. And then also the damage that the bomber is doing on top of the tower to the hog rider is going to increase from 52 and 60 up to 56 and 64. So they're going to get a buff on their damage from the bomber. Now, these guys right here in particular, the death damage is also going up on these bad boys as well. So once the tower is destroyed, that bomb that's underneath is increasing as well. So from 340 to 380 up to 350 and 400. And you can see on the right side that level 7 absolutely crushed that level 9 hog rider. So that's the changes with the bomb towers and who's going to be affected. Let's get into our next defensive change. And to finish us out on the defensive changes, the cannons at Town Hall 12 are going to be catching a slight nerf. Well, Town Hall 12 / Town Hall 13, in case you haven't upgraded your cannons just yet. So level 16 and level 17 respectively are going to be nerfed slightly. It doesn't even look like it. These hogs are still going to die. So from 125 and 132 down to 124 and 130 on the damage per second per level 16 and level 17 cannons. I don't necessarily see this being a major change, but it could be a slight adjustment there. Let's get into the reasons why you're seeing these changes come into the game. Alright, so these balance changes are targeting the defenses first, basically to counter the hog rider and miner hybrid attack. It's basically one of the most popular strategies in the game right now. Now, obviously, if you don't pay attention to YouTube every single day like I used to be, you don't really know these things. So you might be using that strategy and you're going to be trying to figure out why it might not be working anymore. So obviously, the developer is targeting the defenses first before targeting the troops. So they're not really touching the hog riders just yet or the miners. They're targeting the defenses that counter those troops first. So we got this attack here by Landon from Clash Pub Lite versus Farva. I kind of owe Farva a base now, but realistically, this is the strategy that's dominating the game right now from all the higher Town Hall levels. I'm included in this as well. I've used it. I'm not going to lie to you. Legends League, it's quite interesting to use because it really works. Like, you don't even really have to put a lot of thought process into it. As long as you path the hogs and miners together, they are absolutely devastating. And this is what you're seeing right now in the game. This is prior to the balancing change. These are miners and hog riders working together. We got a bomb tower down here in the bottom side of the base. I'm not exactly positive where that other bomb tower is at. It might have been in that upper compartment, but regardless, this is what they're targeting right now because we're seeing less and less air up in Legends League, up in the higher Town Hall levels, and we're seeing a whole lot of hog riders and miners. So I think what they're trying to do is basically say, no, we don't want every single attack to be this strategy because it doesn't really turn out to to be a very good show when it comes time for the ESL tournaments in the upcoming future. If not, World Championships were announced, which were announced a couple months ago. We don't want to see all miners and hogs throughout the show. We definitely want to see different strategies. So obviously they're going to target the defenses first, and if that does not work, then more than likely they're going to be doing a little bit of a HP nerf on those hog riders, maybe an HP nerf on the miners. We don't really know until those changes are put in the game and they've been around for a couple of months. That way the developer can analyze and determine what needs to be fixed in the upcoming future. It's one of the best things about Clash of Clans is that they are monitoring their game and they are paying attention to what's overpowering and what's basically very, very simple. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I like very simple every once in a while, but it doesn't prove to be a very good show when we want to see the more competitive stuff. So hopefully that's a really good explanation for you guys, and that's the army right there. You want to try it out for yourself and see if it still works after the balancing changes have been added to the games. But that's going to wrap us up for today, guys. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you need any additional video support, click one of those links over there. We will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.